Hi guys, Aniruddha here. So there are few things that we need to consider. First of all, if you are seeing this video, so I consider that you are thinking about giving AWS certification. So I don't need to tell you that how cloud is booming right now. As of now, so you must have the answer of question why cloud. Now the next question is why AWS. First of all, there are a few interesting things that I would like to tell you about AWS. Gartner is the leading IT research and advisory firm. According to them, Gartner Magic Quadrant for public cloud storage and infrastructure as a service. In these two quadrants, in the Gartner Magic Quadrant, AWS is in the leader, and somewhere down the Windows and Rackspace, IBM, all these others are following, but nobody's around AWS. Now the AWS is also renowned by leading firms like International Data Corporation or Nucleus Research. So my point is the AWS is the leading, and that's why most of the IT industry is going with AWS as the vast variety of services they are providing. AWS has left no stone unturned because they are providing the range of services that no other cloud service provider is. So apart from that, why go for AWS certification? First of all, there are a few things that whenever we appear for any certification, it tests your in-depth knowledge about the technology. Maybe it's Red Hat, maybe it is RSC, Red Hat, or it is AWS certification. It gives you recognition for your knowledge and skills of working with AWS. Now, it will also give you a very broad idea to design efficient, highly available and scalable solution for different applications depending on the requirements. So the question is the rising number of services, different AWS solutions, and if any new person without proper knowledge of AWS come to the AWS cloud, so it will be the most confusing situation for him. Without in-depth knowledge, you just can't do anything regarding AWS. AWS certification give you a recognition of your knowledge. So there is a AWS certification structure. As of now, there are on the solution architect level, there are two types of certification available. First is associate level, then professional level, and then master level, which is not yet available but supposed to be there in near future. So what will be my advice for going for AWS certification? So for individuals, it will give you high level, cost effective and secure application for defining on AWS, as I have told you. And for employers, it gives you a skilled workforce so that you can get a better output of your return or give you better return on your investment. Now, what is the strategy for getting the AWS certification for the associate level? So for newbies, I would just give one advice: don't be too much tense. Even though it is said that you will need at least 1 year of industrial experience, professional experience for clearing this certification, I don't really agree with it, because there are three things that you need. First is a proper internet connection. Second is a credit card, and third is a desire to get AWS certification. Now, so because an internet connection, you won't need to Google too much, because AWS has very good documentation available with them. As far as my experience goes, I haven't really went through any other documentation apart from AWS while working on the AWS. And a credit card, so that you can open an account on AWS, Amazon Web Services, so that you can get your hand dirty on the different technologies and the range of services they provide to you. For experienced people, mostly the thing is when we are working on specific application, like if we are working on website, then if we go with a specific set of services that we use. For website, it will be Route 53, CloudFront, S3, EC2. But if you are considering a storage application and enterprise application, that there would be using DynamoDB, SQS, EC2, autoscaling, and what. So the thing is, as per the application, the services that we use are changing. So if you are working on specific one application, you won't have proper idea of other working of other services. So first of all, for dummies and experience, I would like to give two advice. If you don't know the service, first go through the FAQs. It will clear your doubts, your all the misconception about the service, and then went through the proper AWS documentation. That will give you in-depth knowledge of every service, how they function, what are the possible errors, and AWS even tell you what are the possible errors that can occur and their troubleshooting. In my opinion, so you should concentrate more on AWS VPC, that is Virtual Private Cloud. Though AWS is a public cloud, it is kind of a separate cloud provided to you. That is like a private cloud, but that's why it is called as Virtual Private Cloud. It is not a private cloud. Apart from that, EC2, that is Elastic Compute Cloud. More in a simple language, they are your servers. S3 is a simple storage service. The name tells everything. Route 53, there is a DNS service provided by AWS. IAM is the identification and authentication management. I don't think I need to explain you any more about IAM. Now, there is one thing that you need to keep in mind while going through AWS certification, that the questions are objective. That doesn't mean they are easy or very difficult. They are quite up to the point. They are point-to-point questions, mostly dependent on real-life scenarios or the very good knowledge of AWS. Apart from that, we would also like to refer the white papers, and before going through all this, you should refer the standard blueprint provided by the AWS for the exam. For hands-on is necessary FAQs, I think I have told you. Now I have given you the links to follow for the exam blueprint that will give you a very proper idea about the format of the questions that will be asked. For the more details, I'll be handing over to Saurabh. Hey Saurabh.
Hey, thanks Aniruddha. Thanks for your excellent tips. Okay, so this was Aniruddha who shared his few of his experiences while giving the certification. Yeah, so even I am a certified solution architect. I would like to add few of the points which Aniruddha said. Yeah, so okay, AWS is vast. There are n number of services, more than 50 services available right now. There is so much to look into AWS that, okay, the exam oriented or exam centric approach that is needed. It's not possible if you just try to skim over the different AWS services. And okay, let's try to understand what a certified solution architect is. Okay, certified solution architect is not a person who knows different services. Let me put this the other way. Okay, just take you to the AWS site. Okay, so if you go on services tab, there are different services which you can see. There are computer networking services, storage services, database, analytics. Okay, oh my god, so many services to look around. But do you really need to know each and every service? The answer is no. No, you don't need to know each and every service. You need to concentrate on the most important and most relevant services which you would be putting on. And yes, as I said, what is a certified solution architect? Who knows all these services, and more top of that, who knows how to put the different pieces of the services together to bring in the right solution. When I say right solution, right from the security perspective, right from high availability, right from your scalability, right, and optimized for performances and cost-centric solution. Yes, this is what is needed from a certified solution architect. No one is going to know you whether S3 provides a 90% or a 99% availability. They might ask you how AWS how it achieves that. They might give you real world scenarios wherein you have to answer the questions accordingly. Okay, let me put it other way around. They might say, okay, there are few elastic compute cloud, that is EC2 instances and put behind a load balancer. How are you going to achieve high availability in such a scenario? So yeah, it's that way around. You have to look at your AWS knowledge from an architecting point of view. So yeah, so what we were discussing is the 4-point strategy that I have designed, which I had followed while giving my certification, and it's this exam blueprint. Yes guys, this is the most important thing which you have to look at. Exam blueprint. Let's have a look what that means. So basically this is the exam blueprint. And now what it expects: hands-on experience using compute network, storage and database AWS services. Professional experience architecting large-scale distributed systems. Professional experience, guys, okay. It's fine if you don't have a professional experience about more than 2 years, but a strong zeal and a strong desire to do, you can surely go and achieve it. Understanding the elasticity, scalability concepts, different networking technologies, how they relate to AWS, okay. So basically what I mean to say is you need to know all the basics of AWS and how you can put the different pieces together to build in the right solution. You have to really think from the architecting point of view. Now this is the block of different services, different IT knowledge which you are expected to know. Okay, so how do you know all these things? How do you take a right approach? So I would recommend this. Yes, the white paper section. You can see overview of Amazon services, overview of security processes and blah blah. There's about 5 white papers which AWS has recommended. But yes, on top of that, I would really suggest you go through this one. Overview of Amazon Web Services and the last one, architecting for AWS Cloud. These two are really very important and I had benefited a lot from them. Do check them out on the AWS website. After that, let's look at what the pattern really expects from you. How is the exam structured? Majority of the questions that you would expect, almost 60% of your concentration would be on designing highly available, cost-effective, fault-tolerant and scalable systems. Now when you say this thing, there are different services that come into picture. When you say cost effective, okay, cost effectiveness would be due to reservation of instances. Cost effectiveness would be using the right kind of EC2 instances for the right purposes. Okay, so you really have to think which is going to fit at which place. Implementation and deployment, data security, troubleshooting. So it basically gives you a picture like which things you need to concentrate more and how the exam questions are available. It is mostly going to be a multiple choice questions. There is a single question with 4 options. There are few questions which have a single answer correct. There are few questions which have multiple options correct. The best part is AWS suggests or AWS says that okay, if there is a question, it has one answer correct, and if there is a question, it has 2 answers correct, and it prompts that basically okay, if you have marked only 1 question, and if AWS expects 2 questions, it prompts okay, you need to mark 1 more. So you okay, that's a tip from my side. So these are the basically the different domains which you can look at. I would suggest that exam blueprint is the first thing that you need to look at when you are planning for a certified solution architect exam. The second thing you can look at is the sample questions which are provided itself by the Amazon on the Amazon site. It basically gives you a view of how the different questions are going to be framed and what could be the exact depth level at which AWS would be expecting you to be knowledgeable. So you really have to look at this 2 PDFs which are important. Apart from this, there is also a demo test available on AWS site. Do go and check that out. It really is beneficial. Try to understand maximum of the things from the different services which are provided, but don't go and concentrate on each and every service knowing each and every detail of it. Do refer the FAQ questions. FAQs really matter because that had really helped me a lot. Know the things from the architecting perspective. Know the things as if you are going to put them to use at different places and how they would be useful, and this really comes from the FAQ section. Yes, over then. Eligible candidates. This is what my next slide is, but yes, what it says, 1 or more years of hands-on experience designing available, cost-effective, blah blah. But yes, guys, really want to tell you that if you're confident, if you have great zeal and a great desire, you can surely go and crack that exam. It's not a big deal. All you have to be is confident. Do your research, do your study. There are n number of videos available. Even we would be creating few more videos based on our understanding and publishing those. Do go through over those videos. Google maximum things on AWS and AWS will surely come to you. These were basically the services which I felt I would share with you. Firstly, it would be like Amazon VPC, route table, auto scaling, networking related, the compute related services. These are basically the core services which AWS concentrates upon, as is specified into the blueprint also of the exam. You can concentrate on EC2, S3, IAM, CloudFront, over to a lesser extent on SNS, SES, Route 53, EBS, SQS. Okay guys, this is what I felt were important services, but you can surely check them or check all the services from the official documentation or the exam blueprint. And also one more thing I would like to say, that majority of the questions that I felt, the majority of the section of the test is mostly twisted and try to test the actual implementation skills. So if you are not having your hands on the AWS services, I would recommend don't go for the exam unless and until you have your hands on dirty. Go pull out your credit card, open an account, it's free. It just charges you first dollar when you create the account. Then go, do your hands dirty, launch some services. There is a AWS free tier available. Launch a EC2 instance, create a S3 bucket, try to create a VPC, launch instances, create public private subnets, do maximum R&D that you can, because that actually helps. Go Google out for maximum stuff and do follow our video tutorials following this video section. This was a video brought to you by us, by Easist, and supported by educateonline.com. Thanks guys. It was great.